Hello, Dr. Briscoe here. This is topic 2.3, congressional behavior. This is the third video for this topic. We're going to be focusing on skill 2A, and that is the first skill of the SCOTUS application practice. You're going to really need to know this skill in order to be able to effectively answer those SCOTUS application FRQs and some multiple choice questions. So let's go ahead and get started. We've got the lesson overview here, and we've got the topic overview here. We'll be describing facts, reasoning, decision, and majority opinions in the required Supreme Court cases, Baker v. Carr and Shaw v. Reno. All right, so we have just one task verb here of describe, and what will we learn? We've just got it laid out here. I've shown you this for another one of the disciplinary practices. So I just like laying it out here where we can kind of see where we are at the beginning here of the SCOTUS application practice. And we are repeating again that it is the first one and it's one of 5 practices. And there will be multiple choice questions and FRQs that you will find that are related to this particular practice. We've got it laid out here and then broken out the subtasks for the bigger skill. Describe specific events that led to a Supreme Court case. Describe the ruling of the court. Describe the reasoning used by the majority that led to the holding or ruling in that particular case. You remember we had this graphic organizer that there's all kinds of out there that are very similar where you're going to write down the information. It's going to help you remember the story. Remember, the story is more memorable about what happened and how it got to the court and what it was that the court ruled and why it is that they ruled that particular way. So you can find information to complete the graphic organizer on OEA.org or SCOTUS blog. Okay, so we've got SCOTUS task verbs here and some examples, that were given there. Describing meaning to give a representation of the subject in words. So let's do some practice here, and I'm going to show you a scenario, and you want to pause it then and take a look at what's going on there, and we'll talk about it on the other side. So this is the Shaw v. Reno case, 1993, and so I'll just take a few minutes to read the case, and then I'll come back. Okay, so you saw the description of what happened, the story of what happened, and you can recall from topic 2.3 video 2 that at the time of this case, the Voting Rights Act called for preclearance, and the idea was to tend to the historical discrimination against Black Americans, and the Department of Justice was involved and need to approve essentially any redrawing of the districts, and so that is where they were at that time. We get this case here, and I'm going to show you a map because it's described as bizarre in the case. And you can see 12 there. It's a little bit hard to see, but it's that darker black part that starts kind of in the middle and then goes over to the left, very close to 9, and very, very skinny. And it looks like a river, a snake, something or other. It is definitely having that odd shape that you want to try to avoid. But again, there may be geographic things that you can't control and may cause there to be some sort of irregularity in terms of shape. But in this particular case, the case was made by white voters in the District 12 that their rights have been violated under the Equal Protection Clause, and that the creation of these minority districts was then in effect being discriminatory against them. So what the court found was, okay, the districts look like they're race neutral, but the shape of them is very questionable, and there could have been something else to do that was less intrusive in terms of redistricting. So they said that the Voting Rights Act cannot be used to increase proportional representation, and pretty much that's going to be the end there of that preclearance requirement. All right, so what should we take away? I've just kind of given you a summary here in terms of what the Department of Justice did and rejected the proposal, asked for a second majority district, and then they accepted that proposal, but then we had the suit by the white voters saying that it was discriminatory. And again, the districts race neutral in intent. They were just so oddly shaped, they couldn't be defended. And so the court used what's called strict scrutiny. We'll get into that later on to, as a standard for governmental actions. They struck down that map and it had to be redrawn. And so the creation of majority-minority districts is essentially unconstitutional, and Voting Rights Act cannot be used to increase proportional representation. Remember the SCOTUS FRQ snapshot? You've got a few of these filled out already of those earlier cases, and here we are on the second page where you can put in the information for both Baker v. Carr and Shaw v. Reno. All right, so we're back where we started with the SCOTUS application skill, and that is the end here of this video, and I will see you next time. Thank you.